It's not a Mandela effect. So what I'm trying to explain is that the reason why is because you're actually looking at information from a hidden world. That piece of land is actually lost in its own space and time. But in another hidden world in which we can't see, that island is not an island. It's actually part of something else that we're not seeing. That piece of land, it could be part of another continent or mainland. It could be something else. But for some reason, we're seeing it as an island because that land is lost in its own space and time. It's a world of its own.
This is a Pinguinati production.
you know and I am more interested in trying to figure out the theory of things than trying to memorize all the changes that have occurred, because there could be tens of thousands of changes, and 90% of them I don't even resonate with, because I never pay attention to it. That's the reality of the matter. So I can spend my time and energy trying to learn about all the changes, or I can try to do something about trying to figure it out, I guess.
Everything we see in our reality, everything you see in front of you is information. So, but it's
Yep, true.
and that
I
that
agree with
information
that.
that information is made up of realities, right? So when you find residual
Okay.
evidence of what you remember, that's almost equivalent to finding gold, right? And that gold is evidence of what you remember.
We need
2015 was
some cocaine.
yeah, hey, let's get some.
Have you
20
ever tried? Have you ever done coke, Lost Geo?
No, I tried a little. I tried a little bit, curious about it, but I never, got addicted or anything. Tried marijuana. Nothing crazier than a little bit of cocaine, and that's it. Um, Alcohol, obviously. That's about it. Yeah, you know, I didn't want subscribers. I was just literally just sharing my own memories and describing my memories and going a little bit I wouldn't say fully crazy, if you know what I mean, but I would look a little bit crazy, just looking for changes in reality. So I found one of the first few ones was the Star Wars where Darth Vader never said, "Luke, I'm your father." I clearly remember him saying Luke. Some people will claim that they don't even need to look for reality residue because they just know it for a fact. Well, my thing is, if you could look for reality residue, then that's even better, right? You can actually prove your case. So even though if you have evidence, people are going to be like, no, you're wrong. That's never how it's been. I don't care what evidence you're providing. These people are just stupid. No, they're not stupid. So a lot of people have a hard time sharing their own personal Mandela effects. They don't share it because they're afraid of looking stupid, right? So how do you remember what I remember if it's never happened that way? It's a battle, really, but you just gotta like you know, I don't know, fight through it.
A lot of people would be afraid to speak in that way because they're afraid that other people will think that they're crazy, right?
Eventually, I turned it into a channel. I called it the Reality Shifter channel.
Eh,
I took it down. I don't know if you've seen the movie The Matrix, Cypher, plug yourself back in the Matrix,
Yep,
you know?
yep.
I wanted to get away from it. I just wanted to I guess be normal again, right? Because I was just like found myself making too many videos about it, and like literally my life was revolving around it. I was like, I just need to get away from this. So I literally took down the whole channel. It's never gonna leave you. Once you go down that rabbit hole, you take that red pill, the Mandela effect, the red pill. You're wherever you go, right? For example, the grocery stores, right? We always go to buy groceries. You're gonna look at those damn logos. You're gonna be like, it's gonna click in your mind. Like, I remember that logo being differently. Like, whatever you look at, it's gonna be everywhere. Yeah, and you just it's gonna be a part of you. It's you can never go back to how you were before. That's it. These memories of how you remember things existing, they're gonna live with you for your rest of your life. You can try and get away from it, but you're not or go deeper down the rabbit hole like some of us.
I'm nowhere near as like well versed as Brian or many others. But I know what I know, and I'm more interested in like the theories of things, like what might be the cause of it, and kind of the spiritual aspects behind the Mandela effect, and maybe potentially to decode what it could mean. So I'm more leaning towards that way, but I also had to take a little bit of a break because I was completely burnt out with it, and initially I was thinking, oh yes, maybe there must be some answers to it. And I have this kind of obsessive personality where if I need to know something, I just have to dig, 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 and I haven't been able to come to any conclusions. I feel like I have a little bit of a better understanding than I did, like, back in 2019 or whatever, but still, there's no conclusive answer so far as I'm concerned. I'm still not 100% sure what this phenomenon is. And I'm not entirely sure if I will ever come to any conclusions about it. I'm just much better at accepting the fact that I might not know than before. you know?
Every time I look at that map, I'm like, wow, I'm in a different world. You keep it like a secret. Like, you can't really talk to people about it, right? I learned to just keep it to myself. You can't be talking to everyone about it. You got to keep it like a secret.
Revealing this information because not every, you can't force the truth on people.
You can't talk to like anybody about it, right? Because then word gets around, and then you don't want to be deemed as a certain person.
Everybody who knows about the Mandela effect knows how much of a fringe topic it is. We say everybody is Mandela affected. Be coming from the same place and having the same quote unquote mismemory of the Mandela effect.
There could be normies, people who have no idea about the Mandela effect. I was always looking at the world map. I still do to this day. I've been looking at the same world map since 2016. I was always looking at the world map. I still do to this day. I've been looking at the same world map since 2016. 2017 was Gibraltar no longer being an island. I wanted to do like an investigation, right? Because I know for a fact all these years I knew it's an island, right? So that year I was gathering evidence. I found so much evidence. I was like, let me go to Gibraltar. Let me start a new channel, right? So I started Lost Geographic that way, and I wanted to prove to everyone that I over the years I slowly came to a realization of what this is obviously a theory or a belief, right? I can't prove it, but I came to my own realization of what reality actually is, or what
Hmm, hmm.
or what the actual world map. When you're looking at a world map, what you're actually looking at.
And let's get into the nature of reality and what you think it is. So, we need
2015 was
some cocaine.
yeah, hey, let's get some.
Have you
20
ever tried? Have you ever done coke, Lost Geo?
No, I tried a little. I tried a little bit.
Lost Geo, Enrique. You start to make your channel again in 2022, and you start to realize what's going on with the so-called changes, right? So any revelation, like anything, any new thoughts that came into your mind, and you're like, okay, I really, this is changing my perspective about this reality, and I think I'm getting closer to the target. So can you talk about that a little bit more?
I've come to realize like a whole, you know, what I believe reality actually is. It's actually a blend of realities, a blend of hidden worlds. That's what it is. So when you're actually looking at the world map, these countries with the borders and everything, these lands they actually exist within their own space and time. Uh, and so the world map is actually a blend of hidden worlds. That's what it is. Even though when you look at the world map, it feels like one world, but it's actually a blend of hidden worlds. That's what it is. No, I started realizing I'm like, wait, I'm onto something. This is actually what we're actually looking at when you look at the world map is a blend of hidden worlds. So those lands are actually a blend. They're blended together, and so that's how these. That's why they appear on that world map like that. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Um,
is this kind of similar to like there's like this world, and there's kind of like they're kind of encroaching one another, and when they're touching each other, they're kind of like I don't know, mixing at the border type of thing. Is that similar in
yeah,
terms of this idea?
yeah. So, I could give the example of Gibraltar in Spain, which we're gonna get into eventually, but it's because there's something else that we're not seeing. We can't see it. There's a hidden world, but when you go there, it's like it feels like one, right? It feels like one landmass, like they're connected to each other. But there's something more. There's a reason why there's a border there. There's a reason why it's a British territory on mainland Spain. It's because we're not seeing something, right? And we can verify this too for those of us who have that memory of Gibraltar being an island. There's a reason why we have that memory, and there's a reason why it's still British territory. So I started, using that, and I started looking, on my research in geography. I started understanding what the actual land masses are and why they appear to be. And back to what I was saying, how the other day we don't see the same things; we're seeing different things. I started realizing, I started that applying that knowledge to other geographical anomalies, and I was like, wait, I'm onto something here. This is actually where we think that it's like it's normal, right? You could go to these borders, but there's actually invisible, like there's a reason why there's borders and stuff, or exclaves or enclaves. The land will actually look normal. You can cross the border, it looks normal, but there's something there that we're not seeing. Like I said before, that land it's in its own space and time. It's information from another world, because that land is actually from another world. So when you're actually looking at the land masses on the world map, they're actually a blend of hidden worlds, if that makes sense. No, it's not a Mandela effect. So what I'm trying to explain is that the reason why is because you're actually looking at information from a hidden world. That piece of land is actually lost in its own space and time. But in another hidden world in which we can't see, that island is not an island. It's actually part of something else that we're not seeing. That piece of land, it could be part of another continent, or mainland. It could be something else, but for some reason we're seeing it as an island, because that land is lost in its own space and time, and it's a world of its own.
So I could also envision that God could be using the demons and the devil because they're still servient to God. Okay, they rebel, whatever, but still God is greater than they are, right? But maybe in some way beyond our understanding, that God is using them to give us a little bit of a test, let's say, give us a little bit of a run for our money and see where do we really stand at the end of the day. That's just me.
Yeah. Do you stand with God or you stand with the devil?